Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tearing down exactly why upgrading your solar system from 12 to 24 volts isn't just a matter of swapping out a few parts, it requires a complete engineering mindset shift. If you're looking to scale up your off-grid setup or just want to squeeze more efficiency out of your current energy flow, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down the mechanics of this migration step by step.
Now, what's really interesting here is that a lot of folks mistakenly treat this upgrade as just plugging in bigger batteries, or maybe just tossing an extra battery onto the pile. Honestly, that's a massive misconception, and a pretty dangerous one too. Treating this as a simple component swap completely ignores the critical safety recalculations that have to happen across your entire DC backbone. We aren't just changing boxes, we're re-architecting how the energy actually moves.
All right, here is our blueprint for today. We're going to cover 1. The core math of power, 2. Redesigning the battery bank, 3. Charge controller constraints, and 4. Your inverters, cables, and protection devices. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The core math of power. Understanding the physical laws governing your system.
We absolutely have to start with the foundational math because this right here is the governing law of your entire system. Power is equal to the voltage multiplied by the current, or simply P equals V times I. This simple relationship is exactly why 24-volt systems are the go-to for medium and high-load solar setups. Every single safety and efficiency gain cascades from understanding this, and everything we talk about today anchors right back to this fundamental equation.
And boom! This brings us to our first major aha moment. By doubling your voltage from 12 to 24 volts, your current is literally cut in half for the exact same power demand. Just think about that for a second. If you need 1,000 watts of power to run an appliance at 12 volts, you're pushing a massive amount of current. But if you double the pressure, the voltage, to 24 volts, the volume of current you need to squeeze through those wires drops by a whopping 50%.
So why does having the current matter so much? Well, wiring heat losses increase with the square of the current. Since that current is squared in the equation, cutting it in half actually drops your heat loss to just a quarter of what it was. That's not just a minor tweak, that is a massive exponential improvement in your system's safety margin and overall efficiency. It's a real game changer. Moving on to Section 2, redesigning the battery bank, shifting topologies from parallel to series.
Let's see how this new mathematical reality forces us to completely rethink how we connect our batteries. In a 12-volt setup, you're probably used to parallel connections to get more capacity. You wire positive to positive, negative to negative. Your voltage stays at 12, but your amp hours go up. But to make the jump to 24 volts, you have to wire a 12-volt battery's positive terminal to another's negative terminal. This series connection adds the voltage up, but the capacity stays exactly the same. It shifts everything about your wiring and how the system behaves.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Because a weak link affects the whole chain in this new series topology, you absolutely must ensure every battery perfectly matches in chemistry, capacity, and health. You can't just pair an old lead-acid battery with a fresh one, or a 100 amp-hour unit with a 50 amp-hour unit. If you do, that weakest battery is going to bottleneck the whole system. It'll get overcharged or severely discharged, leading to rapid failure. In series, your batteries really need to be identical twins.
Next up is Section 3. Charge controller constraints, revalidating the input and output stages.
So, your MPPT charge controller is sitting right there, acting as the gateway between your solar panels and your newly designed battery bank. Obviously, it needs to be rated for 24 volts, but it gets tricky. Your controller will auto-adjust its output, sure, but you have to rigorously check that your solar panels won't exceed the controller's maximum input voltage. Since the input is decoupled from your battery voltage, you got to ensure it stays within safe margins, especially factoring in cold weather voltage spikes, because freezing temps make solar panels produce higher voltages. Surprisingly, this is where a lot of system failures start.
Finally, we arrive at Section 4, inverters, cables, and protection, safeguarding the DC backbone.
Because your inverter is drawing lower current at 24 volts, you gain massive efficiency here. Less current equals less heat, meaning you can often use much more manageable cable sizes, and your inverter just runs smoother under the same load. But keep in mind, surge events still rely on instantaneous power demand. When a big appliance like a fridge kicks on, it still demands a huge power spike, so your foundational wiring absolutely still needs to be robust enough to handle that split-second demand.
Which brings us to a really crucial safety question, maybe the most important one in this whole explainer. Can you just reuse your existing 12-volt fuses and breakers?
I mean, if your system was safe at 12 volts, it's automatically safe at 24 volts, right?
The answer is a definitive, absolute no. You literally cannot assume those old 12-volt protection devices are valid. Your fuse ratings have to follow the newly calculated system current, making those old labels incredibly dangerous to rely on. Think about it. Because your current has halved, an oversized 12-volt fuse might not actually blow when there's a dangerous short circuit in your new 24-volt setup. You really have to recalculate everything from scratch based on this new current envelope.
So if you're tackling this upgrade, here is your strict engineering blueprint to safely map out your new reality. Step 1. Redesign that battery topology for series connection. Step 2. Revalidate your charge controller's input and output margins. Step 3. Recalculate all of your cable sizing for the new lower current loads. And Step 4. Reselect your fuses and breakers based entirely on those new calculations. You might be wondering why we're being so incredibly strict about this. Well, if you skip these recalculations, you might not see immediate fireworks. Actually, it's more of a lurking invisible danger. Over time, you'll get heat buildup in your connectors, you'll suffer from slow insulation breakdown, you'll start seeing unnoticed voltage drops under load that can totally fry your appliances. These are the silent, early warning signs of a system that wasn't properly engineered, and they will absolutely lead to failure down the line. To wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this to chew on. The next time you're looking at upgrading your power setup, are you going to settle for a simple component swap and just hope for the best? Or are you ready to use the math and physics we broke down today to truly engineer a safer, fully optimized energy flow? The choice is totally yours, but remember, the math doesn't lie. Thanks so much for joining me on this teardown, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.